Hi, and welcome to another episode of Tools Friday with Fixitgearware Security. Today's tool has to do with pen testing, bug bounty, and reconnaissance, also known as Recon, in cybersecurity. This tool helps in gathering information of an organization, such as domain, subdomain names, IP addresses, and any other relevant information you as an ethical hacker or bug bounty hunter wants to obtain about a specific target. So without wasting much of your time, let's get started. Today's tool is SubFinder, a tool created by ProjectDiscovery. SubFinder, as we know, is an open source tool created by ProjectDiscovery. The purpose is to help pen testers, bug hunters, and ethical hackers obtain information about a specific target, all in just one phase. So users do not need to use the traditional method, which is going to the various websites to search for specific information about a target. With SubFinder, you can just integrate these various websites API and use the SubFinder tool to research about any target you desire to perform recon or enumeration on. The tool is also built with Go, and the tool performs a passive recon and supports stealth mode functionalities. So the latest update of this tool supports stealth mode functionalities in the sense that while you're probing these various search engines for specific information about a target, you also do not want your IP address to be blacklisted, thinking you're suspicious or malicious hacker. And the latest version of SubFinder supports these stealth functionalities as disclosed by SubFinder on their public GitHub repository. Users can also pipe this tool with other tools created by ProjectDiscovery, such as HTTPX that was created by ProjectDiscovery. So it's not just a tool that does passive recon about a target by searching online resources to get information about these targets. Another function that sets SubFinder apart is that you can integrate public search platforms such as crits.sh, FullHunt, WizXML, and many other services. All you just need is to provide the various API keys obtained when you sign up to these various platforms. Also, Shodan as well, you can also integrate the Shodan API key into this SubFinder tool. And with that, you just execute a series of commands and specify the various search platforms or public platforms you want to use to obtain information about a target. And to get this API key configured on SubFinder, you definitely need to have access to the config.yaml file, which is also found under the .config directory of the SubFinder. So let's proceed into installing SubFinder by firing up our Kali Linux OS running on a VirtualBox machine. So to install SubFinder, we need to get Golang, also known as Go, up and running on our Kali Linux machine first. So to do that, we go to the official website of Go. Then you come down here. The official website is go.dev/dl, which is downloads. So over here, if you're using the Windows operating system, you can download for this. You can download this file. If your system is based on Apple ARM, which is the Apple chip, you can download this. And if you're using older versions of Mac, which is the Intel-based chip, then you can download this one. And for us, we are currently on Linux, right? So this is the file we'll be downloading, and for other sources as well. And this is the current version as well for your information. This version you're going to download here is the current version, which is the stable version. However, there are other versions as well if you intend to download older versions, or if the software you want to install requires you to download older versions. You just come here, you click the archive, and you can see, you just click here and download the respective package. So for us, we'll stick to the 22.2 and we click here. Once that is done, we minimize this. We open our terminal. By default, whenever you download a file, on Linux OS, the files are stored in the downloads directory. And to navigate to the downloads directory, we use the cd command and we say downloads and we hit enter. And when we ls, the entire files we have in that directory will be displayed. In this case, we have the Go, which is just recently downloaded. So the next thing we want to do is we want to unzip this file. By default, every tar.gz files are files that are zipped. So to unzip this, we use the tar command -xvzf. Then by default, our Kali should pick this. But if it did not, you just come here, you copy this, you copy selection, you come here, you paste to clipboard, and you hit enter. If this is done correctly and you ls, you should see the Go directory here. So to have a proper view, let's just clear this. And as you can see, the Go directory is here. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to copy this directory, or we want to move this directory into the user local file path. To do that, we say sudo mv go/user/local, and we hit enter, and we'll be required to enter our password, and we enter the password, and that should be done. And if we ls again, you can see the directory is no more there. So let's clear this to have a clearer view. The next thing we want to do, we want to export the Go paths into the Go bin. So how do we do this? We use the command export path $path:/user, and you hit enter. Now the Go has been exported here. After this is done, we want to refresh the bash database. Now, if you're using the older version of Kali, you use this command source:\bash. However, for Kali Linux OS, since the past 3 years till date, bash is no more used. Kali now uses the zish or the zshrc. So for our case, we'll be using the zshrc, and we hit enter. Now, this has properly installed Go on our PC. To be sure that Go is actually running here, we just type Go version and we hit enter. And as you can see the Go version here. So this is very simple step. Although a lot of people have these difficulties to install Go, we're able to troubleshoot this and fix this situation. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to install the SubFinder, which is the tool for the day. To do that, we also go to a URL or the GitHub repo of ProjectDiscovery. So we'll say github.com/projectdiscovery/SubFinder, and we hit enter. Now, once we're there, the next thing we want to do is we come down here, we copy this. You can see it tells you SubFinder requires Go version 1.21 to install successfully. Run the following command to install the latest version. So for us, we're using the latest version of Go. It doesn't matter. We'll see first. So we copy this. In cybersecurity, it's just that you have to keep trying. So let's see if it works with the latest version of Go. So we clear. We can now go back to our user. So we just come here, we paste this, and we hit enter, and we wait for a while. If everything is properly done, the SubFinder should be successfully installed on our computer. So it's good to run this on Go because you don't want to be cloning repositories and needing you to be running like various scripts. As you can see, it's installing a lot of packages. This is a sign that everything is working perfectly well. So we are working on the paid course for our programming and also the cheat sheet for the C headers. Once it's up and running, we'll be notifying you. So just keep your ears open. Keep checking our social media pages, as once we publish these courses, we'll get you notified. So SubFinder is successfully installed. To verify this, we just say SubFinder -h. Now, if we do SubFinder -h, you're going to have this issue. The reason is we also need to export another command. So just say n. No. The next thing you want to do is to echo the path to the zish terminal. So you say sudo echo. Now for this, right, if you're using the old Linux, you don't need to use the zsh RC, you use the bash RC, which is, if you go to the official website here, they publish this here. Hold on. Here you can see. So this is the old installation method, but a lot of users have been having issues trying to install this file. So using the new terminal is the best option. And if you try to run this command right now, it's gonna give you error because currently the current Kali uses the zsh terminal, and secondly the path is not fully specified. That will be showing you right now. So if you are using the old Kali, you can use the .bash rc, and you also go up here and you remove this tilde sign and you specify the bash rc. And if you have issues like it's throwing error, right? Let's say we hit enter right now, it tells us permission denied, right? You come here, you put the tilde sign. That's for the older versions of Kali, and you hit enter. Now if you still have this issue, there's no problem. You just exit, you come back here, use the zsh or the zsh-rc, and you come up here also, you change this to the zsh-rc, and always remember the tilde sign has to be there. This tilde sign is very important. This is if you're not a super user, so you're trying to call the zsh terminal from the root, and also you can run this from the root. And if you hit enter, it asks for the password. You put the password and that's it. Now if we say SubFinder, you can see now we have this, and it tells us where the default config.yaml file is. So it tells us we go to home, we go to this user, we go to .config, and we can find this. So we can just say cd to .config to tilde .config, and we'll say ls. Okay, here now we are asked to go to SubFinder. However, we do not have this directory, right? Now you might be wondering why that is missing, right? The reason is that once you install SubFinder, you have to execute the command first. That's the only way you can generate the config.yaml file or directory. So when SubFinder is installed on your computer, the config.yaml file would not be there. So to make it happen, we just say SubFinder, and we'll say the domain, let's say facebook.com. Sorry about that. Now once we hit enter, by the way, the -d is to specify the domain. So whenever you're using SubFinder, you want to specify a domain, you use the -d. So now, as you can see, these are all the domains it curated, and it's very fast. So we're not going to go through all this list. So these are just basically all the domains generated from Facebook, right? So now if we're still in the config directory, if we list now, you can now see SubFinder is now here. And if we cd into SubFinder, ls, so for the default, right, provider config file. So this is where you can configure the provider API key. So if we ls right now, and we'll say cat provider config.yaml, and as you can see, these are the various platforms that SubFinder can curate its data from. So you can now decide to add the API key. In terms of the configuration, how to do this, you go to the website. So example of the provider config file you can see, right? So here you can just add yours, put this for children. So anywhere you see this, you just ignore this one. You can see here, you can also put for the Red Hunt Labs, for GitHub, just get your API key, for Facebook. So various information on how to configure the various API keys are in SubFinder. So it's not that complicated, and I believe with this solution right now, everyone can be able to use this tool efficiently on their Kali Linux. It's a common problem that's been experienced out there, and we took our time to solve this issue. So SubFinder is a great tool. You can do a lot of things with it. You can also, let's say you want to pass a list of domain names you've curated and you want to get their subdomains, right? So let's say SubFinder -h. You come up here. So here it's -dl. Previously we specified -d, right? Let's say, okay, we want to use this -dl. So let's go to our desktop where our list of domain is, and we'll say ls. Yeah, we should have some text files here. ls -la. Maybe we would not have. Okay, I think we deleted those text files. Sorry about that. So let's just create a text file here. Let's just say an empty file. Let's call it domains.txt, and we just come here. Which of the domains are we going to put right now? Okay, let's just say tesla.com, and we say fixitgearware.com. We can save this, right? And we close this. Okay, just minimize this later. We'll do that. So what we do, we clear this with ls. Now we have this, right? So let's say SubFinder -h. So we can say SubFinder dl, and we'll say domain, is it domains.txt, right? And we hit enter. Now it's going to access that file and try to curate. You can see right now it picked Tesla, right? It's going to try to gather every subdomains associated with Tesla. After it's done with that, then it will move on to fixitgearware.com. So this is for, you can see for Fixitgearware, this is our domain and our subdomain. So you can pass numerous domain in that list. Let's say you have a list of organizations you're trying to pen test, and you want to just pack everything into just one file and get the subdomains and cut them and run your automation tools. Depending on how skillful you are, then you can just put all these domains that are in scope in the text file, then pass it on to SubFinder to curate the subdomains associated with this domain in the list. Then you can now use those findings to now conduct various vulnerability testing, which can range from CSRF, XSS, command injection, API vulnerability, and various forms of pen testing you want to do. It's not complicated. So hopefully with this solution we have profiled today, you'll be able to get this done easily. And don't worry if you have any issues regarding fixing any of these problems, just hit us up. We'll find a way to solve that in the comment section. And we also urge you to join the Discord. We want to grow our community in the Discord and perhaps, build a very strong cybersecurity community base where people can interact, share ideas and all that. And regarding how to use various functionalities of SubFinder, would show you subsequently as we demonstrate this tool. We've been using it anyway, but at the end of the day, like we said, the basic thing is to demo these tools and tell you a little bit beautiful stuff about these tools and why you should use them. And hopefully for those who are newbies, who are just trying to get into the profession, which is bug hunting or freelancing in cybersecurity, will be able to use various types of these tools to change their procedures or steps in penetration testing. Also, with SubFinder, you can pipe your output to various tools provided by ProjectDiscovery. And subsequently, while we're demonstrating our tool series, we'll be showing you a few tricks on how to pipe between these tools created by ProjectDiscovery. And these tools are very good. Let's say you got a domain right, you can just pass it. Let's say, for example, you installed a cloud tool that was created by ProjectDiscovery and you got a list of domain. You can just pass the passive recon or enumeration of the domain you got into the other tool to confirm that, okay, they're active. You can also pipe it into HTTPS to see the domains that are live, so you do not waste time to spend on penetration testing. There are other functions. Just go through this. We're not going to be showing this because it's very easy. Just type the -h and read through the flags on how to use it. And the most difficult part of it is getting this installed and running Go. Most people are using the older version, which is provided on the official Kali website, which is also going to be a very difficult thing because the latest version is quite cool. You can see how fast it is. So don't worry. Everything about tools, cybersecurity, just subscribe to our channel. You'll be learning a lot of good stuff. We'll be breaking this easily. And if you really go out there on the internet right now, you could discover that a lot of people are still having these issues on getting Go running efficiently on their PC or installing SubFinder. So they are left with either cloning the repository and running it locally on their computer. So that's it for this tool. And hopefully you could move on to better things using this tool in your penetration testing journey or bug bounty participation. So we have finally come to an end of today's episode, and we hope you learned something new. If there are other ways you think we can make this content better, kindly leave your comments below in the comment section. Also, do not forget to give us the goodies, which are the likes, by tapping that thumbs up button, subscribe by also hitting that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to get notified when another episode drops. Thanks for watching, and see you next week on another episode of Tools Friday with Fixitgearware Security. Bye for now.